Oh, hey, how's it going? Just cleaning the tires up over here. Hey, let me ask you guys a question. What do you say to a fat, drunk, out of shape person that asks you, hey, when are you gonna grow up and stop riding motorcycles? Wow. Someone asked me that question. Let's talk about it. Well, how's it going, everybody? I'm Solo Black. It's Tuesday and I'm not on the stairs. Nope, not on the stairs today. I am actually out for my first ride on my 2001 Honda Shadow Ace 750. All right. All right, let's get into it. First of all, I got some news about the Katana, Project Katana 750. The bike is sold. Yeah, the bike is sold. I listed the bike on Facebook Market, and 2 days after I listed the bike, a gentleman called me and wanted to buy the bike. Initially, I had the bike up for sale for $1,800, or I wanted a 6x12 foot trailer for some upcoming projects. So the gentleman explained to me that he just got his cycle endorsement and he was ready to buy it. He's, I think, in his late 30s. He's never ridden a bike before, but he, for some reason, was attracted to the Katana at an early age, and the price was right for him. So it's a pending sale on the Katana. I'm sorry I didn't have a more dramatic ending to the project. It is what it is, which gives me room now to move to a new project. So yep, the Katana is a pending sale. I should know something within the next week, and the gentleman will come and pick it up. He's in somewhere up near Port Huron, which is probably about maybe an hour, hour and a half drive from Detroit. Okay guys, as you see in the thumbnail, today's topic or vlog will be an age-related vlog. And I know there are a lot of them out on YouTube, but I'm being hit with this age thing more and more. So I just want to touch on it. When are you too old to ride a motorcycle? That's a crazy, to me, that's a crazy question to be asked or to even think about. My answer is, you're old when you shouldn't ride when you don't want to ride, you know. Is there a cutoff time? Is there a number that's a cutoff time as far as you riding a motorcycle? I'm beginning to think more and more like it is, because the last 7 or 8 years in my life, people have been basically saying, when are you going to stop riding a motorcycle? Okay, now let's get this out of the way. I don't normally tell my age, and I'm not ashamed of it. I just, you know, I'm not one that runs off by my age. Okay, I just turned 63 years old. A lot of times, if you pay attention to my videos, I tell you I've been riding a bike for almost 30 years, and I talk about my son's age. But if you don't want to be a mathematician, I'm 63 years old, and I started riding a motorcycle probably when I was, like, say, around 26, 27. I didn't come from a motorcycle riding family. I'm originally from New York, So we moved to Detroit. I don't have a whole lot of family in Detroit. Now, I do have a cousin that was born in New York. Matter of fact, we lived right around the corner from each other, but he's now in Atlanta, and you've heard me speak about him a few times. But he rides a motorcycle, and he's 60. I think Terrence is like 67. And he just picked up his second gold wing out of Florida. He lives in Atlanta, and he went down to Florida and picked up his gold wing about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I would like to get down there and ride with him. But anyway, all right, so what brings up this topic is about 3 weeks ago, I was at a party at a social event, and the majority of the people that was at this social event know me, and the majority of those people know I ride a motorcycle, and the majority of those people know I ride a motorcycle in the wintertime. So I'm at the party and we're talking, and there was some people I knew and some people I didn't know, and a group of guys, we were all talking about the Lions at first. You know, they didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but they clinched the conference championship. So we started off talking about a sport-related topic, and then someone asked me, was I still riding? Oh no, was that my bike outside? Now, mind you, it was probably about, it was later in the evening, so it might have been like 28 degrees. And I said yes. So like I said, there's some other guys standing around, and this one guy that I kind of know, but I don't know him, but I've been knowing him for like, you know, high school, but I hadn't seen him in a long time, you know, life getting in the way, blah, 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 whatever. So he says, oh, hey, that's your bike outside? I'm like, yeah. He says, oh, why are you riding it? And I looked at him, I'm like, okay, he's going to talk about the cold. Yeah, he did say, man, he says, cold outside, why are you riding your bike? I said, because that's what I do. And then a few of the guys that was standing in the circle talking said, yeah, you know, Kenny, you know, he's always riding his bike in the wintertime. He says, but man, when are you going to grow up? He says, when are you going to grow up? I was like, well, what do you mean, when am I going to grow up? He says, well, you know, you're in your 60s, right? I'm like, well, yeah. He says, well, don't you think it's time to grow up? Or at least ride a different bike? So that particular bike, I was on my Gixxer, my 600. I said, well, you know, I have like 3 bikes. You know, I said, I got the one you see outside, and I have a cruiser, and I have a sport tour. Now, some people don't know the difference between a bike. I mean, everybody knows the Harley-looking bike, and they know the crotch rocket, but they don't know there's sport tours, there's scramblers, there's dirt bikes. A lot of people just aren't aware of that, and that's not to any fault of theirs. So I said, what do you mean? He says, well, I see you. Why aren't you on a Harley? I'm like, so I had to kind of explain. I said, well, I have a cruiser. It's just a Honda. It's not a Harley. He says, well, man, aren't they dangerous? Now, there's the other question. Aren't they dangerous? And I hate having to go into the danger about riding cars. 52% more likely to get killed in a car with the same type of impact. Yes, that's true. I'm 52% more likely to die in the same type of accident, the same amount of pressure and force put on a car as put on this bike. Yeah. So then I got to get into the thing, well, you know, hey, people die in cars too, blah, 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 blah. You know, but like I said, last 5-6 years, people have been basically telling me with this guy who I know but don't really know, that I need to grow up and stop riding a motorcycle. And that just wipes me out, you know. So I guess I pose a question, when are you too old to ride? Now, I'm 63, like I said. Now, and I know, God, I gotta be careful when I say this. The gentleman that asked me when was I gonna grow up was probably about 5'5", balding, more than a beer belly, more like a pot belly, not physical at all, there's probably no physicality in his life at all, you know. So this is what he says. He said, yeah, you know, my feet hurt, my back hurt. I don't see how you can stand, on that bike, and let alone a crotch rocket, blah, 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 blah. So now he's imposing his physicalities on why I shouldn't ride a bike. Okay, yes, granted, I'm 6 feet tall, about 195 pounds. I do work out a little bit. I do a lot of walking. Plus, my job is a very physical job. It can be very physically demanding, so I'm constantly moving. I don't have a weight problem. I don't have a weight problem and never have had a weight problem. That's not my fault. But then he was like, his feet would hurt him and his back would hurt him. And dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you got those physical problems. I don't have those problems to contend with. I'm not, diabetic and have sugar, and I don't have those things going on in my life. But because he does, and he was basically saying, I shouldn't be riding the bike because he can't ride. And it's just crazy.
All right, guys, we're going to end this one back on the stairs. Yeah, so there's not a whole lot more I can say about age and riding motorcycles. That's where you guys come in. I want to go on the comments. You can leave some comments about, hey, have you been experiencing people telling you about your age, if you're my age or close to my age? As far as people telling you, man, maybe you should stop riding, or when are you going to stop riding, or how dangerous it is to be riding. All those questions I'd like to discuss in the comments. All right, so I'm going to end this one. Hey, I'm Solo Black 313. If this is your first time on my channel, I am a motorcycle content creator. If you've enjoyed this topic and conversation, you want to hear more, or you want to continue in the comments, that's cool too. But it would be nice if you would also subscribe, like, hit the notification button. That way you'll know every time I upload a video like this. All right? So once again, this is Solo Black 313. Rise and ride. God bless. And I'll get with you the next time.